It was a crisp autumn evening, and I had just begun my shift at the bustling city hospital. As a nurse in the emergency room, I had seen my fair share of chaotic nights, but this one was destined to be different. The full moon cast an eerie glow through the windows, and I had a feeling that it would bring with it a wave of unpredictable emergencies. The shift started off like any other. The ER was relatively calm, with a few patients in the waiting area, all with their own minor ailments and injuries. Little did I know that the calm before the storm was only a facade. As the night wore on, the waiting room started to fill up faster than usual, and the atmosphere grew tense. The first sign of trouble came when the ambulance bay doors swung open, and the paramedics rushed in with a young man who had been in a car accident. His face was pale, and blood oozed from a deep gash on his forehead. Without missing a beat, I sprang into action, directing the team to stabilize him while I assessed his injuries. It was crucial to determine the severity of his condition quickly, especially with more patients on the way. As the full moon hung high in the sky, the ER continued to fill up. There were reports of various accidents, a stabbing victim, and a child with a high fever. It was a daunting sight, but I couldn't let panic set in. Instead, I drew upon my training and experience to prioritize the cases effectively. I quickly identified the critical patients, those who needed immediate attention to ensure their survival. The car accident victim was rushed into surgery, the stabbing victim was stabilized, and the child with the high fever received the necessary medication. Meanwhile, our skilled team of doctors and nurses worked tirelessly to handle the less severe cases. The full moon's influence seemed to intensify the chaos that night. The ER was a whirlwind of activity, with patients and their worried families flooding in. I found myself making split-second decisions, prioritizing cases based on the severity of injuries and illnesses. Time was of the essence, and my triage skills were put to the test. Despite the overwhelming influx of patients, there was a strange sense of clarity that came with the full moon. It was as though the lunar glow illuminated my path, guiding me through the chaos. I communicated efficiently with the medical team, ensuring everyone was on the same page and that no patient was left unattended for too long. As the night wore on, the ER gradually started to regain its composure. The critical patients were stabilized, and those with less severe issues were receiving the care they needed. The full moon's influence began to wane, and the chaos subsided. Looking back on that extraordinary night, I realized that it was a testament to the resilience of the healthcare team and the power of preparation and training. While the full moon may have brought an unusual surge of patients, our collective efforts, and my triage skills, ensured that each patient received the care they needed. It was a challenging night, but it was also a night when I truly felt the impact I could make in the midst of chaos and uncertainty.